Hello and welcome to the Pretty Good Gaming Daily Triple. That's your no shit gaming news video. 3 news stories in one video with 0 faff. I was unsure of which of these first 2 stories to put as the lead, but I think I'll go with this one just because it's so damn wild. Okay, here we go. Genshin Impact was one of the most popular and talked about games last year and really put the studio MiHoYo on the map. Personally, I don't have any interest in it since I don't really enjoy any of its main key features. I'm not big into anime or JRPGs in general, though there are a couple of exceptions. I don't like grindy games and I hate gacha mechanics. But Genshin Impact isn't the only game MiHoYo developed, as it previously released a similar Honkai Impact 3rd between 2016 and 2018. This one is only on mobile and PC, featuring a similar style and mechanics to Genshin, albeit on a smaller scale. That game recently introduced an event which added dancing bunny girls to the mix. About half of you just rolled your eyes and the other half unbuckled your belt. Some outlets are reporting that these are character skins, but that actually isn't the case, and in fact it is just a promotional video for the game's 3rd anniversary. This content upset some people for a few reasons.
What the f*** is this?
Firstly, some thought the characters' dancing was inappropriate and disrespectful, with at least one of these characters being underage. Secondly, some Chinese players felt that these characters were being pimped out in order to appeal to a Western audience, with one character in particular representing China, and that's on top of growing resentment towards how the studio treats China, despite being based there. Finally, this content wasn't made available to the Chinese server, but was viewable on the global server, leading some to believe that China was getting the raw end of the deal. So, gamers are mad at a change to a game. What else is new? Well, you've seen the title. One quote-unquote fan took things way too far, stormed MiHoYo's office armed with a knife in an attempt to assassinate the studio's founders before committing suicide. Fortunately, nobody was injured and he was promptly arrested by Shanghai police. The dancing bunny content has since been removed and subsequently the devs tried to scrub it from YouTube and people are still unhappy. The official Twitter account posted this statement calling the bunny dances inappropriate. Some players believe they are being punished for one arsehole's behavior and that China gets exclusive shit all the time. Some claim that the game bowed to woke Twitter mobs, and some just want to enjoy anime bunny titties in peace. Video game communities are often criticized for being toxic, and while it's unfair to tar everyone with the same brush, clearly this guy is a fucking lunatic. I thought just death threats were bad enough, but I've never heard of anyone literally trying to harm the devs. In addition to removing the controversial content, global players were awarded 500 crystals, an earnable in-game currency, while Chinese players got 10 supply cards, which are used to unlock loot boxes worth 2,800 crystals. This then pissed off even more people because they felt that even though China caused the problem, they still get a better reward. One thing that remains unclear is exactly why the guy attacked the studio. It's so easy to spin a narrative out of this. I could simply title it something like Crazed Man Attacks Devs for Removing Underage Bunny Girls. All we know currently is that it was due to the bunny content, but we don't know if he was for or against it. Did he attack them because the content offended him, or did he attack them because they removed it? Ultimately though, his motive doesn't matter, and clearly the guy's got a lot of problems. Like I said before, I definitely wouldn't call myself an anime fan since I only watch a couple of shows, and that's largely because everything seems to be so needlessly sexual and cringy just out of nowhere. Watch it if you want, go ahead, enjoy it my friend, but I just think it's really lame and juvenile. If you've got any shows that don't do any of that shit, please let me know. That's why I love Attack on Titan, because there's none of that ooh woo waifu bullshit. I can't stand it, man. Get those titties out of my face, just give me the violence, angst, and trauma, please, thank you. Okay, after all that, let me quickly summarize this because it actually took me ages to get my head around because it's all so damn stupid. A promo video featuring characters dancing as bunny girls was added. That made some people mad. It was then removed. That made some other people mad. And then some lunatic tried to kill the developers, but we don't know what side he's on. That's pretty much it. Play your games, enjoy your anime titties, but don't go hurting people. This guy is bloody insane. And next up, after quite a shocking story about a lunatic trying to kill a developer, let's talk about something more comfortable and familiar. According to a leaked insider report, EA drives players to spend money on loot boxes, i.e. it incentivizes players to spend real money on stuff like Ultimate Team packs. These documents were shared with CBC and supposedly come from a developer who doesn't want to work on games featuring loot boxes.
Because that's what heroes do.
One page specifically says, FIFA Ultimate Team is the cornerstone and we are doing everything we can to drive players there. Another page reads, all roads lead to FIFA Ultimate Team. Content teasers plus targeted Aruba messaging will drive excitement and funnel players towards FIFA Ultimate Team from other modes. Naturally, EA is disputing the claims that it drives players to loot boxes and says that the documents are out of context and a sensationalized story. This is one of the most stinky PR pieces I've read in a while, though it doesn't say the leaks are fake, so I guess they're legit. I don't have time to pick over all of it like a rotting corpse, corpse, but it is linked below if you fancy a go yourself. We seek every day to provide players with the content choices that fuel their excitement and connection to the sport and their friends, which is why we're so disappointed in a recent media report about FIFA Ultimate Team which ignored important information and context, the result being a sensationalized story with a misrepresentation of the facts. Okay, what context would that be exactly? What other game-changing information could alter the meaning of sentences? All roads lead to FIFA Ultimate Team and we are doing everything we can to drive players there. EA claims to not push players there, but that is in direct contradiction of the leaked document. Now, to be fair, it doesn't explicitly say players are driven there to spend money, but why the hell else would they be driven there? Is it for the rewarding gameplay experience of playing a buggy-ass game against an 8-year-old who bought a god-tier team? EA's key argument is underpinned by the idea of choice. You choose to open a loot box or Ultimate Team pack. They're not entirely wrong, there is no gun to your head when you do that, nothing happens if you don't. You're an adult, you're responsible for your own actions. But part of the problem is that the fundamental mechanics underpinning the game are altered to incentivize buying loot boxes by increasing the grind without them. But let's also just remember the biggest issue here is that these games are for kids. Kids legally cannot make that choice to gamble themselves, so that argument goes right out the window. That's where parental controls come in, but many parents are either too stupid or just too damn busy to know what the hell Ultimate Team even is, or the damage it could do to their wallet. Unsurprisingly, EA also cherry-picks some of the points about loot boxes being gambling, citing cases where the situation rules in their favor, and outright ignores the situation worldwide in countries like Holland, Belgium, and to a lesser extent the UK. The jury is still out on whether loot boxes are exactly the same as gambling and should be legally treated as such. While I do believe they are, we need more research on the subject to actually figure out what exactly is going on. Not just self-reporting, but proper academic psychological research, but that takes time. Meanwhile, EA keeps earning millions of dollars from Ultimate Team and will fight tooth and nail to keep it. Fortunately, different parts of the world are taking steps in the right direction, or at least erring on the side of caution. And finally, let's finish on a positive note about a great game. TitanFall 2 is one of the very best FPS games ever made, despite being widely overlooked by many gamers. After the lackluster reception of the first game, EA all but killed the sequel by launching it right between Call of Duty and Battlefield. Despite that death sentence, the game found a loyal fanbase who still crave a third game, though that seems unlikely as Respawn is preoccupied with Star Wars and, more importantly, Apex Legends. However, the game just saw a huge uptick on Steam, and you just love to see it. This was due to a hefty 75% sale on Steam, which led to a massive spike last week. The game released back in 2016, but only just made its way onto Steam last June after being locked to EA's awful Origin launcher. At launch, the game sold well, but didn't take off as well as Respawn had hoped, so it looks like the chances of getting a sequel are slim, at least for the moment. Apex Legends is set within the TitanFall universe though, and new content referencing those games is coming soon. If you've not played Titanfall 2 and like fast-paced shooters, you should definitely jump on it, though unfortunately that sale has passed now. And that's it for today. If you like this no shit format, go ahead and give the video a like to give it a boost, hit subscribe and the bell to stay notified about all future installments. Toss a coin to your YouTuber over at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. I've been Henry Cooper. That's all for today. Bye for now.